Hello, once again, golf fanatics. It's Billy Ho here with another PGA preview, and it's time for playoffs. So we're walking in Memphis with the top 70 PGA players. Field is not defined yet. If you didn't already know, the Wyndham Championship still in progress. Middle of round three. My man Billy Ho is not getting it done after shooting a 62. I felt pretty good about the outright bets, but I still probably got a good shot at that top five, including ties. He just needs to start making some birdies. Not looking good for him now. He's just giving it back, giving up shots. I think he's 4 or 5 down at this point, which is not good. But they still have plenty more golf to play, and it's all going to try to be in today. I don't know that they're going to get it all in today, but I guess they'll have a Monday finish if not. So anyway, this is week one of a 3-week playoff. And I, for one, hope the PGA changes it. I don't like the way players work all year long and have the 500 points for the regular tournaments and then 700 points for the something like the Masters or signature events. And then you get barely into the top 70, and then you finish third at St. Jude and you get more than you would for winning the Masters. Everything quadruples. You get 2,000 points for winning the St. Jude. So a player can vault from nothing to something, and it's really worth millions of dollars. I don't know what needs to be done to rework it. A player like Scotty Scheffler, who has played so well this year and has built up literally twice as many points as Xander as the second place guy, but he's only going to get a 2-stroke advantage on Xander, even though he's played more than that. So I don't know if there's aggregate. You don't want to start spotting guys 4 strokes, I guess. But, just the fact that it's not a season-long event anymore, in my opinion. Xander almost has the advantage with as good as Xander's course history at Eastlake is and is not so good as Scotty's is. Those 2 strokes are basically nothing. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays itself out. So anyway, I appreciate you subscribing to the channel and smashing that like button. And let's get on into it. TPC Southwind, let's go. Okay, TPC Southwind is a 7,230-yard par 70 golf course. The Zoysia grass fairways are very narrow, so making accuracy all important. Greens are a mere 4,300 square feet on average, Bermuda, and run fast. So greens in regulation will be down a little bit. 10 holes with water in play. Lots of history at Southwind, so past results important. Similar to what we had this week at Wyndham, driving accuracy and good approach are the key. Southwind also has that nasty Bermuda rough that will eat up your golf ball. So being in the short grass is even more important than ever. Also, similar to Sedgefield, the scoring holes are mainly the front 9 are at least noticeably easier than the back. Just holes 5, 7, maybe 9, providing a real challenge. You really can get off to a hot start with a couple of easy par 4s and then the first of the 2 par 5s. Then you round the corner on the back 9 and you have the Island Green par 3 11th hole. Then you have the easiest of the par 5s, number 16, and the super difficult closing 18th hole. So with only 2 par 5s, just like Wyndham, they are reachable in 2 and usually must birdie. You have to take advantage of whatever par 5s you have. Difference this week is that there's 7 par 4s that are 450 to 500 yards plus, as opposed to the 400 to 450. So the par 4s are longer on this course, which will be requiring a lot more mid irons and a lot more drivers off the tee. Surgical guys off the tee have the advantage. It is extremely important to hit these fairways to set up your approach. The golfers should prepare for some hot summer temps in Memphis, but the weather doesn't look like much of a factor. There might be some warm breezing in the afternoons, 10 to 12 mile an hour, but that's just about it. So moving over to the model, basically only in 2019 was a hot putter led the guy to victory. That was Brooks Koepka, number 1 in putting. Justin Thomas, the year he won it, was 55th. I think maybe Willie Z last year was maybe 10th, but all were very much in the top 5 on approach. So what I did was when I put my model together, I ran fairways gained and good drives and gave them a pretty solid percentage. Then the bulk of the approach. Then I kind of divvied up par 4 scoring. I wanted some defensive statistics with bogey avoidance, got a little DraftKings points and some birdie or better. So I got 25% on the scoring aspect of it. And then I put 10% toward the short game, which is around the green and putting combined. I thought that would work a little better since smaller greens, you're going to have a little bit more chipping to do, but it's around the green is not conducive to winning the tournament either. But this is the buckets 150 to 175, 175 to 200. I didn't put any weight on those. I wanted to just see where the players landed, in comparison to overall approach. So if you just go to like strokes gained approach, and then you can look over and start to see where your guy lies in the bucket range, and the closer to these two numbers being at least equal and lower, the better. I don't like one being like 50 and the other one being 2, because it just kind of throws it off a little bit. Like Brian Harmon, he's just really good across the board at everything. So we're going to be looking probably at Harmon. Keep an eye on how he plays this week at Wyndham. So you got obviously Scheffler, Morikawa, Xander, Rory, all these guys. When you go to course or tournament history, which there is a lot of it here, you start to look for, and obviously we don't have the entire field yet. These are the guys I guess we know are in it, but there's going to be more to be decided. With the delay in the start, we're only in the middle of round 3 on Sunday afternoon at the Wyndham, so we won't know for sure. Probably going to be a Monday finish. So I just thought I'd get this video out a little early to get you guys acclimated to the top tier players that are already pretty much guaranteed a spot. As you can see, Justin Thomas, most strokes gained. Justin, Decky, and Rory are the 3, and then there's a big drop off after that. These are the guys that have played it probably going back a decade or more, when it used to be just a regular old FedEx St. Jude or regular old St. Jude Classic. Before that, it was a little weaker fields. So this is a no-cut event, and it is going to be the top 70 players in the FedEx standings. So we're going to be looking at guys like you can see Scotty, just in the 2 years that he's played here, has top 15 finishes. So he's definitely going to be a guy that you're going to look to use. I don't know what the difference is. It's probably going to be a significant difference. I mean, I can't imagine Scotty being less than 13,000. They usually pump up the prices on these smaller fields. So guys, looking at the breakdown of the golf course, you can see where the more scoring holes are. Your first 4 holes are pretty doable. Even the par 3, it's got a decent chance at birdie. It's only the 8th ranked hole on the golf course. Then you do have the toughest. Then you have an easier. So a couple of tough holes that are laying in the red, and then you make the turn with 7, 9, and 10. And then you do have the tougher holes and the back-to-back long par 4s to finish out the tournament. And like I said, a little bit lower around the green play. This is top 5 finishers. Up, it's obviously always ball striking. So keep that in mind. And then here's the whole composition. Like I said, you do have 4 holes from 400 to 450, but you got the 6 in that bucket, and then you got the 1 500 plus to equal 7. And then you see a little bit less in the wedge category, clubbing down. And then you have the middle categories from 125 to 200. Not much on the 200 plus category, obviously, because of only being 2 par 5s. And the 1 is a very, very gettable short par 5. So a lot of guys are probably even hitting irons. So you're probably hitting like 200 plus. And even the par 3s are sub 200. So you got 196, 171. Then you do have the 1205, which is the third, but this one's 162. So three of the four par fives or par threes. This one right here might play over 200, depending on where they tee it up at. But you can see they're not like the uber long, difficult ones that we've seen recently. So back over on the model, I wanted to go down here a little bit more to see where some of these other guys rank down here a little bit more. Anybody standing out? So you can see guys like Max Homa should play better here. I think he's got a little bit better track record. It's going to be a lot of top-ended, heavy top-ended guys. Like I said, it's a no-cut event. Really going to be tough to figure out guys like Akshay. I think being a lefty, like Akshay and Harmon might come in handy. Play the lefty angle a little bit. I think that's not the worst idea I heard. Aaron Rye's just been uber consistent. Corey Connors, uber consistent ball striking. So these are a few guys that you can look at in the lower tier. This is a really good course for Russell Henley. So you can see how he's landing in the model. Really, really good scores across the board here. And he is a good Bermuda putter, Southeastern Conference guy from Georgia Bulldog. So these Southern guys play this Bermuda pretty well. And then you have other guys. There's Harmon and Aberg, I think, is going to be a benefit from just a little bit of a time off to get his mind straight, ready to go. He would be the perfect candidate. He's kind of like a Willie Z was last year or before Willie Z injured his back, but he can putt better. So the proximity numbers, everything across the board is there. He'll be popular. Another guy, I would say your Lowry really did disappoint. I didn't like him coming here right off the Olympics playing here anyway. I don't think his brain was into it. So I think that was just a wasted trip for him. Tommy could be a good fit, definitely. These guys are probably not the ones you definitely don't know. Sepp Straka is actually number one in fairways gained. He's a guy that I'll have some interest in. A little bit further down the line, Keegan, another guy that'll probably have interest in. You obviously got to have Decky. He was really, really good at the Olympics. Could have got gold. He's taken a week off, and then he'll come in here fresh. Another guy with great course history, most strokes gained in the top three. JT, you should get a reasonable price on him, but he will probably get the course history bump. So maybe he's priced up where people won't play him. That's an interesting thing to me. Brendan Todd is having a resurgence this week, so I might look to run him back. Eric Cole is a guy that can make a lot of putts. Billy Ho, obviously, playing lights out golf. Don't think he's going to come through for my he still might get my top five, but he's really, really giving it away after shooting that 62 opening round. He really didn't play well yesterday and didn't come out. He's just not making any birdies this week after that hot round one. So he's really got to get his game in gear just to get into that top five. At least I do have the including ties in that top five each way. So happy for that. And I won't play Spieth till he can prove he's back from that wrist injury. He just doesn't have it anymore. Cameron Young definitely would be a good candidate for this golf course. I do believe he's got some pretty decent finishes here before. And then guys toward the bottom of the barrel here, and we're not really 100% sure who all's in or out, but that's just a handful of players that I see so far, and kind of what you want to look for when you go. Keep it simple. This golf tournament, I mean, tee to green and specializes in buckets and all that stuff are one thing, but you definitely don't want to get into it. Just remember on Monday the afternoon, whenever the pricing comes out, whenever we finally get it, jump in the DraftKings contest. I will post it in this video. And let's go ahead and finish things up and get on out of here. Okay, well, that'll do it for the show. And the field is not quite set, but hopefully we'll have some interesting drama toward the end of the day. And the key for building lineups, like as far as DraftKings goes this week, is probably going to be finding those guys down in the lower tier to get it done. Who are you going to stack up top? Like, are you going to go like try to go 3 9K guys and fade the top ones, or try to stack 2 5-digit players together and then dip down? So balance builds might be more interesting. You can see guys like Gracerman and Luke Clanton, and a lot of these guys are just wild cards coming in here, just tearing up these courses. TPC Southwind is going to be a little bit tougher test than Sedgefield for sure. So I'll be looking forward to see how it plays out. So until next time, appreciate you watching. Subscribe, like, all that kind of good stuff. Thank you for all the support, and we will see you soon.